I'm ready whenever you are, you three. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're doing our presentation on perception and basically did you put it in? Yeah, I put it in. Ah.
Did you present what's going on?
Perception is basically how your mind perceives things and how it organizes and interprets things basically. And by doing that, it's a 3-step process. Can't speak to it. Of selecting and organizing, and then interpreting how you see things. The reason why people have different perceptions is that it depends on basically how you can, like, depending on how you grew up or how you were taught different things and I guess, like experiences and whatnot. So step 1 is selection, and there's a thing called a salient where your mind focuses on a specific thing. Like if you have a bunch of apples and there's an orange, you're more likely to look at the orange than the apples because it's different, I guess. So there's a fun picture, and you use your different senses for your perception on how your mind like organizes with all of your different senses. So it's your sound, your sight, and your touch. And then step 2 is your organization, where your mind uses different patterns to pick different things out so that you can then piece it together and interpret it afterwards. Like in the picture, you're able to still read it because the first and the last letter of the word are still the same, but any of the in-between letters can be in any order, and your mind will read the pattern of the first and the last letter and just magically pattern the letters into the correct order so that you'll be able to still read them magically.
Whoa.
It's your turn.
Old man playing a saxophone on the left.
If you look at the pictures, different people see the first thing different. So for the one with the saxophone player or face, someone either see the face first or saxophone
There's the
player
face and the hair.
depending on what they focus on first. And then the other one, they'll either see the face with the hand on it, or the hand down here, or the face up there. And depending on what part they look at first, they'll see different things.
There's a messed up yin yang.
It looks like they're kissing.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. But see, what I see, the black one's turning in the head away while the other one's trying to get a kiss, and they're ready to kill him because they don't want to be kissed. Evidently, there's some marital problems going on there.
Exactly. Oh.
Way too deep, sorry. Rorschach test and I don't get along.
And then for this one,
Duck and the bunny.
you see
I
that
see a gorilla
one
and a
first.
lion.
Oh my god.
And then for the other one, you either focus on the main part, or your eyes look closer and see the lion and the gorilla first, or based on what you look at first, you see different things. And that's the whole point of perception, is whatever you see first, how your brain interprets it, and what parts you block out originally.
So interpretation is basically where you take what you've organized, and that's basically your brain making assumptions about what you see, and then you give everything you see meaning.
Like the
So-
Dalmatian dog there.
Yeah.
How do you see that?
I thought
My
it was
brain
like
doesn't.
How do I see it? Number 1, I'm a dog nut. Number 2, it's a Dalmatian. Look at him, he's waiting to run.
I see.
What do you mean where?
If it's that,
Right there!
Like, what is that?
Oh, I got
It's
it.
a dog.
I got it.
That shows how your brain is doing the interpretation.
I'm part
Because
dog,
it's
yeah.
Stupid. It's just a blob of dog.
Because
So
you-
when you look
It's
at
not a cow.
No,
That's a blob of dots for me.
It's not a blob of dots.
You gotta draw that.
Way to go, you guys. You're all freaking us out now. Great job.
With the way your brain just makes assumptions, it sees a dog and then it tells you that you believe it's a dog. Because of
What
the-
worries me are the two eyes behind the dog staring at him.
That's
No,
the tail.
that's the tail.
Huh?
Supposedly it's the tail.
Oh, their tails aren't that long.
But
There's some freaky dude staring at that dog for me.
this kind of thing in the interpretation is usually used in Rorschach tests by like psychologists because it helps them kind of understand how you see your own life to try and help you either change your perception or improve your perception to improve your personal mental health. Like this one,
Oh my gosh.
there's a
I don't see
hole.
it. I see like a weird frog or a tile in the middle.
That looks like that one thing. You gotta keep on moving. Shit.
Or like a
Like,
weird skull. I see a weird lizard in the middle. and
I see a
weird skull
Pokemon in the middle and
outside.
two Pegasus.
That's what I was
I
saying.
said it looks like a moth.
You see a Pokemon in the
Yeah,
middle
it's
with
that-
two
it's that-
Pegasus?
Yeah, it looks like a lizard.
That little gold dude.
Yeah,
He's
that's a
a
moth.
cocoon.
I see a mess on the floor my kids are gonna clean.
I see nothing.
I see an image reflected upon it.
Most
Wow.
eagles are.
Wow. What is there something you're supposed to see there? It's whatever
No.
you. Okay.
No, because that's the whole point of the Rorschach test that they use is that it really is just random ink.
So how would somebody analyze like what Carter said just now with doing that, like a Pokemon thing?
What did you say?
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
See, I don't know anything about Pokemon.
Well, it's seeing it as something pretty straightforward or an example
Okay.
from your own life. It's kind of giving you the idea that you're a straightforward person. You know, you're pretty blunt. Don't mess around. Don't beat around the bush.
Have you seen Silence of the Lambs?
No.
Anybody?
Yes.
Okay. Take a look at that. The Death's Head moth from Silence of the Lambs.
Looks like a moth.
You know what I'm talking about? That was crazy. That's the Death's Head moth in the middle.
To me, it looks like some sort of like weird, like alien bug.
You guys haven't seen Silence of the Lambs? Okay, psh, come back to me.
So the other part of perception is how you see yourself, how you perceive yourself to be. So for self-concept, basically overall, it's how you think you see yourself and how you believe you are. And it's made through social comparisons of how you feel when you're around people. And part of it is the social comparison theory, which is you comparing yourself to others when you're in the social environment. And then the self-discrepancy theory is basically how you see yourself and want to see yourself in the future. So it's like setting goals for yourself of how you are expecting yourself to be later on.
How do most people technically, when they look in the mirror, see themselves? Positive or negative?
Isn't it like
They normally see themselves in like a negative and worse off than they actually are, because like self-esteem is based on evaluations and judgments made about your various characteristics, and a lot of it comes from your culture, media, and what is around you constantly, and how you're raised. So say you're at a family event and people are being mean to you and saying mean things, you'll have a more negative self-concept. So whereas if you're at a family event, people are being nice to you and saying positive things, it'll lift you up and make you feel good. And a lot of it depends on how it was when you were younger. Because like, if you think about it, a lot of psychological problems come from when you're younger, because that's when your brain's most developing and when you're gathering the most information about everything and how you're starting to see yourself. And it will affect when you're older.
Getting awful deep for a Monday. I love it.
So there are ways to improve your self-perception, and it's like how most people say, if you want to feel good, surround yourself with people that are nice to you and care about you and are actually true friends, and finding support in people that actually won't make you feel worse. Like in the mirror, this cat has good self-perception because it thinks it's a lion when it's actually a cat. Where if say someone was looking in the mirror and they're really skinny, but they don't see that, they have more negative self-perception because they don't see how they actually are.
You wanna know what's scary, you guys? That slide right there just reinforces everything over 30 years of teaching. If I see you 10, 15, 20 years from now, I still see you the way you are right here. I see my former students, no matter how much they've aged, I still, for some reason, I can't stop it. I see you the way you are right now. It's real crazy. Now, I'll be in a wheelchair, probably on oxygen, so just tell me your name, because otherwise I'm gonna have no clue. Bass will be dancing, so I'll be able to remember him.
I'll bring us to Con.
Cool.
And then improving perception of others, it's basically thinking before you judge someone and developing like listening skills and like critical thinking skills that make you actually try to understand someone before you judge them.
Okay, so question. It's easier said than done. Mr. Fitzpatrick walks in and he's got a swastika tattoo on his forehead. Anybody got a positive experience with that immediately?
I mean, we don't have experience with it at all.
True. But I look at it going right away, you start looking at it. Or he's got a sweatshirt on that's covered in the rebel flag. It's so easy for us to say it, but our initial reaction is, whoa, dude, kind of thing. But what's going on with the green and the red apple? Why'd you guys pick that pick?
Yeah, Carmen, why did you pick that pick?
So-
Because people think differently when they see a red apple versus a green apple. Most of the time when you see a green apple, you think they're kind of tart.
Yes,
When you see a
exactly.
red apple, you think they're nice and sweet
And
and.
they're still apples.
But it's still apple, that's just
Okay.
different on the inside.
Question. Has anybody in here had clear Coke?
What?
Clear Coca-Cola without the color?
I think so, yeah. I've had clear
Has anybody ever tried it?
I have.
Okay,
Oh,
because
clear Pepsi, yeah, I've had
if
that.
you took, they had clear Pepsi for a while too, but if you take a regular Coke and the clear Coke, I get people all the time, they don't taste the same. It's here. It's here. They do taste the same. Because it's amazing when you do that clear Pepsi and stuff. It's mind-boggling when people do this. So that's a good one there. I liked your tart thing because that's exactly what I was thinking. Cool.
And then perception checking, it's basically thinking before you actually cement the idea in your head. So like internal, it's like going through in your head and thinking and reviewing what you've seen and what you've learned over the years, and actually questioning it, like critical thinking. When you have to answer a question, you question the question in your head to make a better answer of it. And
What's the
then
last one down there? Unsing? Is it using or unseen?
using.
Okay.
And then for external, it's using other people to verify it. So it's like talking to other people and bouncing your ideas off them, and then making your decisions instead of doing it all by yourself. So you're using someone else to, and what they think. So basically, it's getting a second opinion. Yeah, so basically, you want to check before you step when you're perceiving someone and deciding how to act.
It's so hard though to keep focused on checking and rethinking and not judging. It's hard. It's work. A lot of people don't want to work at it. I know people that wear Michigan State crap. Right away, I look at them and I'm mad. But
We're not that bad.
We're not that
denial's the first sign of a problem. But anyway,
You don't hate me when I'm not wearing it.
huh?
Said you don't hate me when I'm not wearing it.
I don't hate you. I'm just messing with you.
And that's it.
Well done. Well done.